high. Shadows crawl, they multiply. In every corner across the globe, teams assemble with hearts that probe. Echoes whisper truth or dare. Chills run wild through the heavy air. Global ghosts hunt, rise and run, chasing shadows, chasing none. Worldwide we stand, never alone. In the dark we've made our footsteps creak in empty halls. Spectral faces pressed on walls. From the castles to the streets, hunters gather where spirits meet. Who's afraid when we unite, facing fear under the moon's white light? Global ghosts hunt, rise and run, chasing shadows, chasing none. Worldwide we stand, never alone. In the dark we've made our global ghosts hunt, global ghosts hunt, rise and run, chasing shadows, chasing none. Worldwide we stand, never alone. In the dark we've made our home. Global ghosts hunt.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another GGH Live 25. That's what I'm calling it, Brian. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. Get used to it. No. Oh, my gosh. So, first of all, before we get into these lovely ladies next to me, we're supposed to start at about, a half hour ago, and technology sucks. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The ladies were here on time. They were on time. I was on time. But for some reason, I couldn't see them. It was weird. And it took us, about 20 minutes to get this sorted out and figured out. And it was such a pain. But anyway, you're here. I'm happy to have you guys. I'm excited for this one. So before we begin, why don't you guys introduce yourself? We'll start off there. Who are you? Where are you from? All that good stuff.
I am Beth Mortis. I am the co-founder of Lost Souls. And I want to give a shout out to my cousin and co-founder, Nancy. Unfortunately, she couldn't be with us tonight.
Aw.
I am from Homer, New York. And this is...
I'm Jolene Lillo. I'm just a member.
Not just a member. Jolene is the one that found us Global Ghost Hunt, which we really appreciate.
That is awesome. Well, I will say we, as the admin staff, we're really happy to have you guys. We love having new teams come on and be invested in it because it's a lot of fun. It's something different. It's something new. And so far, this is our 3rd year running. No negatives besides arguing with technology like you guys just experienced. But welcome, and glad to have you. And so on these shows, we do like to have audience interaction. So tonight we are joined by none other than the Tanner. What's up, Tanner? How you doing tonight? Tanner is another one who does a lot of these shows, and he's a writer. He does a lot of other things. He's a man of many talents. Really nice guy, really great guy to hang out with. And Mama Newsom, Della's here. Hey, Mama, how are you tonight? Thank you for joining us. So I'm assuming from Beth, you're saying you're from Homer, New York.
Yes.
That's where the team's located. Are you guys in Homer, or where's it really located at?
We're kind of scattered to the four winds in central New York.
Fair enough.
So I'm from Homer. Jolene is in East Syracuse. Nancy actually lives in Sackett's Harbor. We have members in Constantia, Oneida, you name it.
You know, I was doing a little bit of stalking, doing some research on you folks before bringing you on, and I saw New York, and I was like, "Ooh, East Coast too. I like that." I'm from Pennsylvania, so I love it.
Okay.
I absolutely love it. I'm actually dead center in PA. I don't know if you guys know Williamsport area.
Yes.
I'm from that area. I'm like right off of
Okay.
80. So, but it's nice to have another East Coaster. And there's the Wicked Queen, my wife, Mackenzie, saying hi.
Hey, Mackenzie.
And
Hi.
Mama Newsom's doing okay. Good. Glad to hear it, Mama. Glad you are okay. Glad everybody's okay. So, first of all, love the name. Let's start there. Where did Lost Souls Paranormal come from?
You know, I don't know. I just had it in my head that if I ever started a group, that was the name I wanted. I just thought it sounded really cool. And I mean, a lot of the spirits we communicate with tend to be lost souls.
Yeah,
And I just thought it was really appropriate.
that's fair. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been doing this field. Well, I've been doing it for 20 years. The Wicked Queen, she's been in almost as long. And you're right. You're absolutely right, Beth. It's they seem lost. They seem like they need answers. They need a little bit of closure as well as the living does as well. So I like it. I really do like that. So how many members are you guys right now? Like, how many are you strong?
I think we're up to 24.
Mm. See, people, I'm not the only one. My first team had 43, 40,
Wow.
42, 43. That's a lot of fun when you have a bigger team like that. Now, do you guys all go out and investigate together at one time, or do you split it up? Like, how does that work?
It depends because not everyone's available, obviously, at the same time for investigations. And some places are smaller, like we're going to Hinsdale House next week.
Ooh,
And we have 9 people, which is, it's going to be a little tight quarters for that size location because you sleep there.
yeah. I see. That's what I always ran 9 whenever I did any investigation. I took 9 as well, and I just split up into 3 groups, and everybody seemed
Mhm.
pretty good. So Jolene, how did you end up with Lost Souls? Like, what's your story?
Well, we actually, about probably over half of us came from another group.
Mm.
We're still involved in the other group, but Beth and Nancy kind of split off and created a smaller group. About, is it
Year
better?
and a half.
Year and a half, yeah. And so some of us are in both groups, and it was nice to have kind of a little smaller group, which of course has started to grow bigger now, um but it's still good because, like she said, we're all kind of all over the place.
Hmm.
And so some locations work better for some of us than others, and some of them are big enough to accommodate.
Yeah, and that's one thing I did like about having the bigger teams because it like there's certain locations like I saw you guys did Wildwood,
Yep.
and even when I was at Penhurst, you could take a team like that in, and everybody would just fine. And you may run into somebody 1 or 2 times, and it kind of cuts it down so you're not there 2-3 nights to get everything. It's just blanket. A lot of people were upset with me. They're like, "Oh, well, that's too big of a team." We are joined also tonight by Jonathan Myers from Crossover Paranormal Society. What's up, brother? How are you? I'm not sure, Tanner, what you're talking about, but this is our usual. Tanner will say something, he'll confuse me, and he gets a laugh out of it. But anyway, so let's talk about where you guys have been. We'll start with that first. Everybody has a favorite location or a location that's been absolutely memorable. And I'm telling you, folks, if you haven't already, head on over to Lost Souls Paranormal Investigations Facebook page. They've got plenty of investigations over there. What's been the one that stands out to you guys?
Well, it's hard to pick just one. So we've been to the Conjuring House. We've been to the USS Salem. That was very active. The location that we're going to be at for the Global Ghost Hunt investigation, Haunted Tully Lodge. That's always super active. And Wildwood. Wildwood is always very active. We've been there probably 5 times now.
Yeah, we love it there.
I've noticed a lot of pictures and videos from Wildwood, and I'll be honest with you, I absolutely love that place. That looks just amazing, and I don't know what it is. It's just there's certain homes, and I've said this on some of the Global Ghost Hunt lives that we've done. There's just certain locations to where you just walk up and you're just like, "Yep, it's haunted." Don't even need to take a piece of equipment out. And Wildwood is definitely one of those. It just fits the criteria, if you will. Now the USS Salem, that's been on the Wicked Queen's bucket list. She's been wanting to get up there and see that one. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Highly recommend.
Yes. So we had 12 people on that investigation. We like to do group trips a couple times a year. And that was our spring trip. Our fall trip is next month in Gettysburg.
Ooh, right in my neighborhood.
So huge ship. I don't know if you've ever been there, but huge ship. And it's kind of like a maze to me. And I needed to go back and get batteries. And I said to my cousin Mike, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to get back to where our equipment is. And he said, I'll go with you. And we started walking and we got outside this dentist's office and we were directly underneath the open deck and there was nobody aboard outside or anything. And we were our group and Don, who manages the ship, we were the only ones there. And I start to hear tapping as my cousin and I are standing there talking.
And it wasn't just tapping, it was loud clanking.
It's loud as tapping. And we're talking and we both looked up and Nancy hates it when I do this, but I said, if somebody's tapping, can you do that again? And now it turned into banging. And it was so loud that it really kind of unsettled both of us. And I said, you know what, maybe we should move along. And it freaking followed us as we're walking. The banging above our heads was following us. So that was really cool.
That's awesome. I actually, in the new music video that we just watched in the beginning here, you see you see my back mainly walking. That was actually on the USS North Carolina. I was there with Jonathan Myers from Crossover Paranormal Society and a couple other teams. And that clip specifically, I stop abruptly. It looks like it's the video, like I just cut it. No, I actually did come to a complete stop because I had a set of feet walk right in front of me. And I didn't even, I tried to recreate it several times. I could not do it. I thought maybe it was a little bit of light trickery because I did have a headlight on. And nope, couldn't do it. And we've caught a lot of EVPs on the USS North Carolina. Same thing, the tapping, had that happen. And then infamously ran into a spirit there that I like to just call California Boy. He was hitting on the Wicked Queen. That was interesting. So what about you, Jolene? What sticks out for you? What's one of those investigations?
Actually, I'll say Wildwood. It wasn't the last time. It was one of the times we were there. we were taking a little break. We were all in the front dining room area, except for Beth, who had gone to the bathroom. And she's in there, and she starts like hacking. And so she comes out, and we're like, "You okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom." And we're like, "Yeah, but you were coughing in there. Like you were gagging or something." And she's like, "No, I was not." Like, we all heard you.
Well, I will say, Beth, you're not alone with that one, because at the North Carolina, I had an incident with the restroom as well. And I know Jonathan's in the room, and he will get on me if I don't tell you guys this. So I don't know how it was for the Salem, but for us, before you get on the ship, there was in the parking lot area kind of a little hangout, smoking area, whatnot. Well, outside there was restrooms. So I went in before the investigation to do my business, and while I'm in there, I saw somebody in a stall. So me being me, it was like, man, I'm so excited for this, and blah, blah, blah. I start talking. Everyone outside can hear me talking. I come out, and everybody, including the Wicked Queen, was like, who are you talking to? And I was like, I don't know. There's whoever was in the bathroom with me. They're like, we're all here. There's nobody in that bathroom. And I'm like, oh, okay. I did want to ask you ladies this, because Jonathan brought it up. What he's meaning is we had a tour guide at the USS North Carolina that, like you guys know, with ships, very hard to be stealthy, very, very hard to be silent. This tour guide would just pop up randomly. No sound, no nothing. That's what he's talking about. We're going to hang bells off of our tour guide next time. Did you guys have that same experience? Like, did the Salem, did they have a tour guide for you? Did they accommodate?
They hit a guy, yes. I don't know what his title is, but he is a former Navy man, and he manages the ship, and he did give us a tour.
Mhm.
And then when we heard the banging, he actually was in his office. And I was so concerned that maybe somebody somehow snuck onto the ship
Mhm.
that my cousin and I went and found him. And so he was definitely in the office. He was not above our heads on the open deck or anything like that.
Hmm.
And he's like, no, there's no way anybody can get onto the deck. The only way onto the deck outside is like this gangplank, but it's got a door at the end where the ship is, and it was bolted.
Wow.
So unless you're parachuting in, nobody was getting on that ship.
That's awesome. Now we did have a group. I know when we were in North Carolina that joined us. I don't know where they went. They just came on and but it was supposed to be like a private type event for all of us. But I don't know. This group just asked about joining, but they just disappeared. So I was okay with that. I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I was okay with that. Now, looking through your Facebook, I did notice a location that kind of piqued my interest, and that is actually Mid Orange Correctional.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but I was drawn to it. I was watching the videos on it, and I'm just like, shiny, less, yes. Can you fill us in? Fill us in on Mid Orange.
So Nancy and I've been there twice. And my husband Mike, who's also in the group. And are you talking about the K2 meter?
Yep.
Yes. That is like the video for me. And I'll tell you, so it was probably my fault. They got annoyed and knocked it over, because one of the things I really like to do is a flashlight session.
Mhm.
And they could turn the flashlight on, but then they were having problems turning it back off. And I had to reset the flashlight like 5 times. And I made some sort of snarky comment like, well, I guess you can turn it on, but you obviously don't know how to turn it off. And that K2, I was filming with my phone, and I turned the K2 meter on its side so that you could see it while I was filming, because I was trying to see if when the flashlight turned on, the K2 would light up.
Makes sense.
And I don't know if you've ever turned a K2 on its side, but it actually leans forward when you do that. And it had been leaning forward for like 10 minutes at that point. And after I said that about, well, I guess you don't know how to turn it off, that flipped backwards. So that was even more awesome because it's leaning forward and it got knocked backwards.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And did you see the second EVP I posted on there about that?
I believe so. Let's see.
So when we went back, I said, "Can you tell me the name of whoever knocked over?" I called it the green light thing because I didn't know if the spirits knew what a K2 was.
Mhm.
And I got a very loud EVP saying Jessica.
Hmm. Now, was there any relation? Like, could you guys figure out where that was coming from?
I have not had a chance to look it up. The caretaker's family lived there
Hmm.
on premise, so it could be that they maybe had a daughter named Jessica. I don't know because it was just an all male institution, but they did have workers and things that were female.
That's fair, and that's the other thing, like, we never know really where it comes from, like, a lot of these EVPs or even AVPs, we hear it out loud. You never really know, and again, I'm teaching some of my, friends about the paranormal, trying to obviously, educate them, and I tell them, we're active historians, is the way I look at it. We are
Mhm.
actively talking to the history, especially here in Centralia. Centralia is literally like a half hour from me. I'm doing a new music video, so I'm doing some recordings, and that's what I said. I was like, this is what I love. I love being in these locations, not just because they're pretty, but you think of the history. You're standing
Yeah.
right where somebody either passed or somebody was, or a big moment in history. I said, if you think about it that way, it's really cool. It's an honor, really. Um, but moving to the Thule Lodge.
Mm.
I'll be honest, I don't know very much about it. Can you guys tell me, first of all, a little bit about the location? Because I know you're doing it for the Global Ghost Hunt. Can you give us a
Mhm.
little bit of a teaser of what to expect?
Yes. So we've had really good flashlight sessions there. It was originally built for a family because the records were so spotty back in the 1800s. They don't know
Mm.
exactly when it was built, but they're guessing like 1820 something. And it was built by a man who was very prominent in the community. And he and his wife had only two children, but the place is huge.
Oh, geez.
And they when they passed away, the son inherited it, but it wound up being sold at auction. And a physician bought the house for through the auction, but then he then donated it to the Masons.
Okay.
And they do still hold, there aren't very many Masons left, but they do still hold meetings there. And one of the Masons actually passed away of a heart attack in the meeting room.
Ooh, you're talking Freemasons, just for
Yes.
people at
Yes.
home, for clarity. That is like, do they have it all set up for their lodge? 'Cause I know the Masonic Lodge is
Mhm.
very particular. I'm assuming they have the full chapel or the meeting area. They have
Yes.
everything all set up.
Yes. They don't let you in there.
No, you're
Of
not
course,
allowed to investigate in there.
of course. But they've been, I'm assuming, really receptive for letting you
Yes.
folks in. And
Yep. In fact, Thomas, who runs the investigations there, he joined our group
oh,
very
that's awesome.
recently.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. How does that like? I always love hearing these stories. How did that come about? How did he? Did he just like come to
Well,
you and be like, "Oh, I like what you're doing. Let me talk to
and
dead people"? Or
it, well, in case you couldn't tell, I like talking. And I've been in HR for 28 years, so I talk to people a lot. And I just, when you find somebody that is as interested in the paranormal as you are, and we had asked him, we've been there, I don't know, 4 or 5 times now. And I had 2 or 3 times ago said, he and Jed, another guy who's there, I said, if you guys want to like join us as we investigate, that would be fine.
Mhm.
And they're very good and they're very professional. And I kind of have high standards. Like when we're investigating somewhere, we do have a great time together. We have a great group and we all get along and we all have a great time. But I am also very serious about investigating. It annoys me to no end the people that go in there and are like, well, so how did you die? Was it painful?
Oh,
Who else
jeez.
doesn't want to hear that? You know,
Yeah.
they don't want to relive any of that. And so Thomas and Jed were very professional and very nice. And I thought, you know, they would be a great addition to the group.
Fair
So
enough.
I talked to Nancy about it and we agreed, and rest is history.
That's awesome. Neil is joining us on Facebook. What's up, Neil? How are you doing tonight? And one of the other admin staff, Kara, is joining us as well from Caught in the Veil. Hey, Kara. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I see V Team. I see you over there on YouTube. How are you tonight? And again, if you folks are wondering why I'm going back and forth, I have multiple screens up at the moment, as always. Uh, again, love technology, but I hate it. Another one of our admin just popped in, Tammy. Hey, Tammy, how are you? So I'm right there with you though, Beth. As far as the investigation side, I love to have fun. I love it absolutely. If you can't tell, I'm a special breed. I'm not. I mean, I ask the questions that most people don't. I like to have fun. I've asked spirits to go have a beer with me. Actually, at the Whaley house, Thomas Whaley, I asked him what it was like to die, not how did. What was it like? And believe it or not, I got the answer cold, which that was interesting. But I do agree with you. You have to be serious. There's certain times, and I think you ladies will agree with this one. There's a certain times where you can have fun, but then there's certain times where it's like, okay, we gotta, it's serious. We gotta get to business, especially when you start getting responses. Which leads me to something I wanted to know. For you guys being a new group for the Global Ghost Hunt, who to look out for? Who's the Joker in the group? Who do we need to watch out for?
Well, Nancy and I always joke around with each other. You know, we're cousins. So I think we all really are.
Yeah, we're all pretty bad.
One.
As a matter of fact, we on our last trip, we had a birthday
Oh,
that we celebrated. One of our members loves her ice cream, and I mean, don't we all?
This isn't a salad.
And we were at dinner, and she was already talking about going to get ice cream after. So we thought that we would help her out and get her some ice cream. So we told them at the restaurant that it was her birthday. It wasn't. And you should have seen her when they came out and they're singing, and she's looking around the restaurant like, oh, I wonder whose birthday it is.
That's one thing I do love about, the Global Ghost Hunt is not just learning about these new locations, seeing these teams, but learning about them, learning about the teams, not just where they're investigating. And it's like, okay, cool, they're investigating here. That's one thing I love about your guys' Facebook is you've got a little bit of everything. And one thing I really love to see, and I really hope everybody watching, you go check them out, is you can see the camaraderie. You see the camaraderie with the team. It doesn't, to me, look like a team. It looks more like a family. Like there's one picture I see you guys out in. It looks like a field or something. You guys are all together.
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming. And you guys look like a big family reunion. And that is really awesome because I love when teams act like that. And so I wanted to ask you guys, how does that work? How do you guys make that work? Because I know from experience running teams, sometimes it gets a little, and you know what I mean? But you guys seem to just connect really well together. How do you guys do it?
Well, families don't always get along either.
Well, when Nancy and I put the team together, we were very careful, and we picked people that we knew there'd be no drama. I did up this mock 10 commandments, and that was one of the commandments, thou shalt not cause drama. And so we picked people that we knew were cohesive, and there wouldn't be any of those problems. And it's real. In fact, I do call them my ghost family.
Aww.
Because we are like a ghost family. We all get along, and we're all happy to see each other. We did Friendsgiving at my house last year, and I intend to do it again.
Those are always a good time. And
Yeah.
yeah, it really is nice whenever the team connects like that. And to be honest, it helps with the investigations as well because there's no animosity.
Yep.
But no, that is awesome. And Tammy is loving the commandments.
Another one is thou shalt not whisper during an EVP session.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves.
I know.
Uh,
Nothing worse than thinking you caught a great EVP and you find out it's somebody on the team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I've done that myself. I've caught myself doing it.
Yeah,
We
But
all
then,
everybody
have at
does.
some point.
but then I overdo it, and then my big mouth comes out. So then it's like you're listening. Like, what are they saying? It. Okay, Matt. Seriously. But um, actually, that would be some really great merch. The 10 Commandments of the Paranormal. I would
Would
buy that
be.
shirt in a heartbeat. That may be something
Maybe we'll have to add that to the back of
I
our
know.
shirts now. That's a
that
good idea.
that's a great idea. Um, something else I noticed on your Facebook page that I know that I'm going to be personally talking to another team I found on TikTok that is doing these giveaways. I noticed you guys are doing these. You're doing these giveaways.
Mhm.
How does that work, and why did you decide to start doing that?
Well, because I'm all about the networking and the marketing
Hmm.
and it's allowed me to meet some amazing people. I was talking with a guy, I was in Gettysburg a couple weeks ago, and I wound up talking to this guy that like knows a lot of these celebrities. And it's amazing to be able to talk to somebody that's been to the same places you've been to,
Yep.
and you can collaborate about your experiences there. And at first, I was buying shirts from a vendor,
Hmm.
but my husband got a Cricut machine and now
Ooh.
he can make all kinds of merchandise. And, to me, I enjoy doing the giveaways.
Mhm.
And I like the fact that people are excited when they win this stuff. And it's also advertising
Yep.
for us. And I have on my car, I have all kinds of logos for the group on the sides and the back window. And it's amazing to me. People come up to me all the time and ask me about the group because they see that advertising.
Yep. I actually, when I had my team here in Pennsylvania, that's what I did. We had those big, obnoxious magnets that we put on the side of the
Yep.
vehicles, especially if we were going somewhere. Like we did a couple of farmers markets, and we just sat there. And there's no such thing as bad advertising.
Right.
None. I mean, that's why I even had my tattoo of my little ghost with a paranormal consultancy. People at it's. I mean, it's something to draw them in,
Yep.
and it breaks the stigma of the paranormal. I don't know how it is
Yes.
in New York, but I know here in Central PA, you don't talk about the paranormal. It's pretty low key.
It depends. I work with seniors, and when I first started, I was pretty careful about who I told,
Hmm.
and there was one in particular that I really thought that I'm like, oh, we connect on a lot of things, and I thought I would tell her, and immediately she was like, I do not believe in that. I'm very religious, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
We've
Not I didn't want to offend you.
we've actually had it's funny because the demographic is so different between TikTok and Facebook.
Yep.
And we've had two different people now make all kinds of comments on Facebook. TikTok, we have over 1,200 followers. Never
Congrats.
once had a bad comment. Never. On Facebook, twice now, I've had two different people argue that we're possessed, we need an exorcism, we're going to hell, stuff like that. And it's like, one guy I tried being really nice and saying, you're entitled to your opinion,
Hmm.
but so am I. And so we'll just agree to disagree. And he kept going. And I was like, okay, look, I don't go on your page and post stuff. So please do not come on this page and post stuff. And he just would not stop. So I wound up having to block him.
Yeah, that's one thing I have noticed, even in our field as a community, there are just certain people that they have an ego issue. That's the only way I can really describe it. Everyone, you're absolutely right, Beth. Everyone is entitled to their own thoughts, their own opinions, and that's perfectly fine. It's when you start pushing it on other people, that's where the problem happens. And I'll tell you, my block button finger is very strong. My list went from like maybe 10 people to now like 100 something. Wow. It's like, nope, I don't need to deal with it. Don't need to deal with that.
Well, and the whole, religious aspect of it, I mean, the people that say that, I'm going, I don't, there's no such thing as, talking to spirits. They're all evil demons. And I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't it in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost or Holy Spirit, however you'd like to say it? But I'm like, I don't understand where you're coming from.
See, I'm actually ordained, and I love whenever other ministers or pastors come at me for it, or these religious people, because I stop them dead in their tracks and I say, listen, I was like, okay, you're telling me that you're a Christian, right? And they're like, well, yeah, of course. Cool. So am I. But besides that, do you believe in angels and angelic figures? Do you believe in that? Do you believe God has angels that come down and relay messages just like it says in the Bible? And they're like, well, yeah. Okay. So that means you believe in angelic figures, which is a field of the paranormal, just FYI. And then do you believe that Satan has minions to come up here and do his bidding, to tempt us and to do nasty things to us like demons? They're like, well, yeah, of course I do. Cool. You believe in demonology, another field of the paranormal. Have a great day. Shut up pretty quick. But I understand what you guys are talking about. Even here, like I said, in PA, in Gettysburg, even I've had it. People look down on me. It's like, dude, look where you're at. Some just like to argue and rage bait. Yeah. The best thing to do is just ignore it. So, Jolene, I do have a question for you specifically. How did you find Global Ghost Hunt, and what made you guys want to join?
Well, since I joined this, I mean, I was one of the original members. But when we first started, it was kind of Beth and Nancy and I and a few of the other members had discussed, wanting to kind of branch out and, maybe start our own podcast or, get our names out there and maybe, do lives and things like that. And so I was trying to get our name out there. I was looking for, events that we could attend and have a table and just, talk about what we do and show our equipment and get people interested. And in doing that, I noticed you guys on Facebook posting, asking for paranormal groups that would be interested. And I'm like, Beth, look at this. How cool does this sound? And she's like, do it, apply for it. So
That's
here we
awesome.
are.
That's awesome. Well, again, really glad to have you guys. How'd the rest of the team take it? Were they all like excited, like let's go, or were they like, wait, what's going on?
I think excitement.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think everyone, we're all in this to, have a good time and learn what we can. So if we can share that with other people, even better.
100%. And that's one thing that the Global Ghost Hunt, and that's like when Brian John, he actually is the founder of the Global Ghost Hunt. When he brought the idea to me, I was like, let's go. And it's not about the ego. It's not about, the publicity. It's not about being seen by thousands of people. It's about the location and the team. And I'll tell you, ladies, you guys have joined in a wonderful year. Not only is it our third year, but it's free to join this year. So great opportunity. And one thing that I've noticed through the 2 years we've been doing this is everybody learns. Everybody learns something new, whether it's a new location, a new technique, a new way of doing things, or even learning about yourself. I personally, obviously, I've done a lot of these lives. The investigation is so much different, but it's so much fun. And from what I see from you guys, from your Facebook page and everything I've seen, you guys are a step ahead.
Thank you.
You guys will be just fine. Now, what is one thing that you guys are looking forward to for the Global Ghost Hunt?
Well, As I said, I like talking, but I just like getting us out there and sharing our experiences. I love to talk about the paranormal.
Same.
And I love it when people see our shirts or the car and say, well, what's that all about? I even had my mailman come to the door and ring the doorbell and say, my wife loves that stuff. Can you tell me about this group? And so, it's just, and it is awesome to be able to talk to people who are like-minded.
Yeah.
And share our passion just as much as we do.
Well, I will definitely let you know if you and your team need anything. Don't hesitate to reach out. I don't feel like I need to give you guys this, but my best suggestion, especially for the event, have fun. That's
We
what
can
we
do
want
that.
to see.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
always on the list.
We want as much fun as you possibly can. We want to see your passion for the field, and we also want to see this beautiful location. I'm telling you guys, this location is very beautiful. It's nice. I love it. I'm excited for it.
And I'll tell you something. Thomas just texted me today. There's like a pole barn kind of thing out back. I don't know if it used to be probably the carriage house.
Mm-hmm.
They actually found a child's coffin in there today.
And like they found.
That they found, yes. They were going, I don't know if it was up in the attic or of the barn or what it was, but he was like, yeah, and the worst part is it's numbered 2, and I don't know where 1 is.
Okay. Well, I know I have some ideas for cameras, some equipment. Have you guys caught any like children spirits there before, or?
We've gotten tons of EVPs and we have great flashlight sessions. We have not gotten any like apparitions on video. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, ladies, before we get going, where can everybody find you?
So we are on TikTok at lost.souls441. We do have a YouTube if you really want to see the hilarity that ensues with us sometimes. Where I think it's Lost Souls Paranormal NY on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And Nancy and I we weren't even actually doing the investigation yet. We were just setting up. And we said to each other, we were the only 2 in the building. And we said, let's try doing a flashlight session and just see if there's going to be any activity in here. And so we did, and the flashlight started lighting up. She had a flashlight, I had a flashlight. And I said, okay, if you like me better, can you turn on just my flashlight? And my flashlight went on. And I'm like, that's great. And so it's just like maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes of video where Nancy's like, no, come on. I go, okay, let's make Nancy feel better. Can you turn hers on? And it did go on. And it's just hilarious. So that will show the kind of fun that we actually have behind the scenes a lot of times. We have the Facebook and we do have Instagram. I have not had I do all the social media. And I have a day job, of course, because this isn't paying the bills. So most of our content at this point is on TikTok and Facebook.
And it really is some really good content, guys. You will not be disappointed. But no, again, really, really excited, ladies, to have you and your team on. Haunted Thule Lodge, guys, you do not want to miss this. Now, you guys have a date already in set, correct?
Yes,
Thule Lodge,
October 18th.
Beautiful. October 18th, you guys will be going live. I'm really, really, really excited what you guys will bring to the Global Ghost Hunt. And, every year I pick out these brand new teams that are basically ones to look out for. And nothing against the rest of them, but I'm telling you guys, Lost Souls, you guys are the ones. You're going to be the ones to watch.
Appreciate that.
And I'm really excited, really, really excited for you guys. So again, thank you all for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you both. And with being so close, we need to meet up. We need to do something.
We're going to be in Gettysburg, October 10th through the 13th. I got a great location. We're doing a private location or a private investigation of the Jenny Wade house.
Oh.
And then we're doing a place called Knoxland Ridge House, also in Gettysburg. And I'll tell you, that place, I found it just by accident through talking to this guy that knows all these people. And my husband Mike and I were up in the attic. We did the public hunt first just to kind of scope it out and see if we wanted to do the private. And I'm with you. I don't really like public hunts because of the other people. Only because, they're like tourists and, hey, what's this light lighting up about? And it drives me crazy. So we went up in the attic and we were the only two people in the attic. And I had the lights off and I was doing a flashlight session. And they had like a steel post that was maybe 3 feet high. It was flat on top and there was a baseball on top of it. And maybe 15 minutes into that flashlight session, the baseball went flying. Scared the crap out of me because I was not expecting it. I normally don't ever jump or whatever. I moved slightly sideways when that happened. But, you're more than welcome to join us. We've got that house for 24 hours when we're there.
You may have a consultant sighting. You never know.
Okay, message me.
While you guys are in the area too, if you would like Centralia, I would be more than happy to show you guys around Centralia. And actually, I would say it's off script, but I don't have a script, so I'm probably gonna get some flack for it. But while I was out recording, I did find, hopefully not trigger objects, but some little antiques from Centralia itself. I brought it home, cleaned it up, and I found it looks like a gate thing, and then just a couple little knickknacks from Centralia itself. I just wanted to clean them up, show them some love, and of course, you ladies, if you do decide to stop, you're not going home without some anthracite coal. There's plenty of it.
Very nice.
This is actually what they're mining. But yeah, you ladies are in your team are more than welcome to swing on in. Maybe we'll even do a cookout, have some fun. Maybe we'll do a live. Who knows? But we'll have some fun.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, much love to you and your team. Super excited to see you for the Global Ghost Hunt. Guys, again, if you haven't already, head on over to their Facebook, YouTube, all over. Check out Lost Souls. You will not regret it. And I'm telling you, you will not regret it. So, ladies, again, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Really excited for October. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and our family. Parapost Network Central. If you guys haven't figured where that is, welcome to the show. Parapost Network Central on Facebook. Give us a look. You'll find not just GGH Live, but you'll find my show and many others. And a lot of them are a lot better than mine because it's me. But you definitely go check out Parapost Network Central. Huge shout out to our sponsors, Health Empowers You. And because, ladies, as you know, the paranormal isn't just supernatural. It's the physical side of it too. You have to take care of your bodies along with your mind and your spirit. Health Empowers You helps you out with that. They've got a bunch of different recipes, a bunch of different smoothies, drinks, you name it, they've got it. Check them out, healthempowersyou.net, and a huge shout out to Deluxe Subs. While you're over there checking out Health Empowers You, check out Deluxe Subs. They're the more supplement and stuff like that. Take care of your mind, your body, your soul, all of it, all in one go. So huge shout out to you guys for all your love and support. And guys, we'll see you in October. So awesome. I guess that leaves one more thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Thanks.
Anytime, ladies. And don't forget, folks, just have one question. Do you dare?
Midnight strikes, the clock won't lie. Shadows crawl, they multiply. In every corner across the globe, teams assemble with hearts that probe. Echo echoes whisper truth or dare. Chills run wild through the heavy air. Global goals, sunrise and run, chasing shadows, chasing none. Worldwide we stand, never alone. In the dark we've made our home. Footsteps creak in empty halls. Spectral faces pressed on walls. From the castles to the streets, hunters gather where spirits meet. Who's afraid when we unite, facing fear under the moon's white light?